Well, good morning, you fluff chunking chums. Here we are again, chatting on a beautiful blue morning. Not too cold, it's about 4 or 5 degrees today. It's probably getting up to about 11. I thought today we would try and see if we can get some buzzer action. However, the lake is quite flat. There's not much movement at the moment, there's no wind. So we may start off with possibly some lures deep down and slow, see if we can get anything, pick something up early, and then move on to the buzzers and nymphs. Hopefully, what would be really nice is to pick something up off on the dries. There's been a couple of fish topping, and I think this afternoon when it warms up, we could be in with a chance. I have been out for had a couple of sessions before this one, where I had some various fails with the camera. I do have some footage with that. Last weekend, fishing here into the wind was horrendous. Probably about a 20-mile-an-hour wind, something like that. Fishing was okay. Do have some footage of that. The previous week I did fish, again hoping to bring you a video on buzzers and nymphing using straight line techniques. I did catch fish, but only managed to get a small bit of footage, but I will add that on as well, just fishing dialbacks, buzzers for those of you who are new to it and maybe struggling with that a little bit, because I know that the buzzer and nymph fishing is a bit of a sticking point for a lot of anglers. I'm not the best nymph fisherman myself, but I'll show you what I can. But anyway, let's get on with today. I'm going to set my gear up and I'll give you a quick look through that. If I get time, unless I get into fishing and get distracted, which would be good, but not too good for the film. Yeah, we'll see how we get on. So my chums, I'm going to start off with my 6-weight this morning. I think what I will do is possibly put on the bung and find out what's going on, find out what depth the fish are at, see if we can get any interest. I tend to use that as a starting point, just to find the depth of the fish and find out what they're actually willing to take. I would think natural approach today. It has had a lot of anglers on the lakes, so they will have seen a lot of flies, which is often the case, especially we're coming up to the weekend. It's Friday today, by the way. I did want to try and get out today when it was a little bit quieter. There isn't a lot of anglers here at the moment, so pressure wise the fish shouldn't feel too much of it, but I'm going to try the bung, see if we can get any action. Then I would normally go on to pulling some snakes or lures, etc. See if we get any interest there to entice them on. But hopefully the end game is to try and get them on nymphs and buzzers, which might not be impossible. I do still have a strong feeling that we'll make it some on dries later on. So I'll set this up. I'm just going to set this up with 10 foot of fluorocarbon. I'm going to set my bung at about 5 feet. Start off at 5 foot. If I get nothing, I'm going to go down a little bit or up, whichever brings the results. And then secondary, I will be setting up the bigger rod, the 7-weight. I've got a sink tip on that at the moment, so I may try the lures first, and then we'll move on to the long line nymphing with a 15-foot leader, which I'll explain later on. So let's see how we get on. Oh, what a cracking morning. Had a couple of casts. I've had 2 takes. I was taking footage of the ducks and I got a take and missed it. Bung was away well and truly, but it just didn't cling on. There's a little bit of a breeze picking up now. I'm getting a touch now. So we're getting touches quite close in. There's a little bit of a breeze picking up on the lake, which is good. And it is actually coming from the right direction. It's coming across my left shoulder, so I'm feeling confident with that the buzzers are going to work. I'm having a few nibbles. I've put some colour on the bung, and I've had a few takes already, but very close in. And there's a few fish been topping as well, so we may even get that fish off the top today, which would be fantastic. I will try my best as always. Yeah, but they're having a nibble at the... I've just got like a bright coloured blob on, just to see if there's any dumb fish or inquisitive ones. And I have had a couple couple of pulls, but they're very, very, very finicky. Just little nibbles, nothing committing, which obviously they've seen a lot of flies this week. And another few casts like this, and then we'll see what we can do with the nymphing. But it's looking like there's a nice little ripple coming on. Let's try some nymphs, some buzzers, straight lining some buzzers across this wind here, this direction, and just drifting them in towards this bank. See what we can pick up. Might do the ploy. Let's have a cast into this ripple. There's fish top in there. Cracking views here, as you can see. The hills over there in the distance, beautiful. It's great to be out. It's better than the office, isn't it? Fish topping over the other side as well. Yeah, they're definitely nymphing. Oh, there's a take. Here we go. We're in. We're in. Right, this one's set at 5 foot. So they're in the top 4 feet, which is what I would expect. So this bung setup that I use, it's kind of a hybrid setup. I can switch quite easily from this to fishing buzzers with this setup, or dry flies. I do use a tapered leader, which aids turnover, which is I've got about 4 foot of it there. Which is £10. Actually, it's not, it's 15 down to 10. And then obviously my £6 fluorocarbon on the end, so there's 10 foot of that. So I generally fish with 15 foot of leader as a rule. It's putting up a good account of itself, this fish. I thought I was getting takes before. I definitely was. I missed them, but definitely interested. I normally find this time in the spring, yellow here seems to be a really good colour. I'm struggling to get this one in. Yeah, yellow tends to be a good early season colour here. It's just seems to be getting busier here at the moment now. Nice and quiet for a short spell, which was nice. Shit, it's fall over. Shit, it's fall over. Good start. It's getting away. For your pop. Oh, he's just going to sit there. And he's off. We're on again. Doesn't take long with this fly. Feisty bugger. That's what we like. Nice spring fish, full of fight. Water's still cold enough for them. Very nice. Great quality of fish here at Chatton as well. If you've never fished yet, get yourselves up. You always make you feel welcome. There's food and drink at the lodge, good hospitality, and cracking fish. It's actually quite a good fish, I think. Yeah. He's full of fight. He's away again. Let's let him go. Sorry, we got to fix this one. That's what we're like. Oh, he's not giving up easy. Got his head up now. Come on. Yeah, that's it. Whew. Bit of feisty one. Beautiful chunky fish that. And he's away. Right, I'm going to try something different now. Hard fighting fish to the yellow. I've just been on the just tried the lures, pulling the lures, so I didn't get anything. Since I've gone back onto the static method, they've taken it, so my next step will be to try the washing line, I think. Reached himself. There you go. That great conditioned fish. Okay, so I've had a change of tactics. I've switched on to a washing line using a 15-foot fluorocarbon leader. Got my flies spaced 5 foot apart. I have a sunburst fab on the point, which is just a small size 10. I have 2 buzzers on the remaining droppers, just crisp packet buzzers. One's a quill, one's a crisp packet size 12s. Aim of the game, just casting across this ripple, which is blown from left to right. Just keep in touch with it and see if the fish fancy a little bit of buzzer fodder. To be honest, the method seems to be a static approach, but the bung seems to be catching more. It was still catching when I've switched to this method. I just want to try it, experiment and see what happens, but since this breeze has picked up, it is nice, but it has pushed the fish down just that little bit, hence why I'm using a sink tip, by the way. Sorry, I don't think I mentioned that. I'm using a 5-foot sink tip. It just helps the line to dig in a little bit, pulls the flies down in more of a bow. We just need Mr. Rainbow to play the game. Oh, I just had a take and missed it there. Just as I was saying that. Yeah, I've got a feeling he went for the fab there. That's a bit of action. There's a pull. It's just a slow retrieve. I'm basically just keeping in touch with the line. The wind's actually perfect, blowing into this bay, bringing the flies around. I couldn't really ask for more. It's just a case of me actually connecting with fish now. So what that fab does on the point, for those who have not fished this method before, basically suspends the buzzers a little bit higher in the water, just lets them sink that a little bit slower, which is sometimes can be deadly when the fish are in those top couple of feet and feeding hard on. Oh, I missed it again. Every time I talk. Yeah, as I was saying, so when they are what's that long good pull that. See how savage the takes are. This is what's good about it. So basically, as the fab descends slowly, it takes the flies down slowly, stops them sinking too quickly. But what I have found lately, a good tip for you, is I've started tying me buzzers and dial backs on smaller patterns, but a larger fly, if that makes sense. So basically, instead of using a size 12, which is slightly heavier than a size 14 hook, I'm using a 14 but tying the size of a 12 on that hook, which is possible. You just tie around the bend a little bit, but it just helps them sink that little bit slower when you want to. And the thing is, I've tried lightweight hooks, so for those in the know, instead of using, say, a Camasan B175, which is a heavy wire, I've been using the B170, which is a light wire. I tried that. I'm just going to check. I think I've got a feeling it's pulled me. I've got a feeling that it snapped me off. Oh, it did. Totally snapped off my dropper. I should have had that fish. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is 6 pound G3, which is probably part of the reason. So I'm going to cut this here and set this up again. I'll be back very soon. Okay, sorry about that. So I had a good solid take there, as you might have seen on the camera, and took the dropper clean off. Sight 3 G3 strikes again. Never mind. And what I was trying to tell you before was the sink rates of the flies. So I used to try and use B170s to keep the flies high in the water, but they're a very soft wire hook. So what tends to happen, and may happen to yourself as well, is that you'll end up pulling a lot of fish, meaning the hook will open up on you and you end up losing the fish. So personally, I prefer to use a heavier wire, which is more B175 style. So basically what I do to counteract it, for it to not be too heavy but strong at the same time, is to tie a little bit larger on a smaller pattern. Sorry. So I would tie a 12 size on a 14 hook. It's not much, it's minimal, but it can really help. I mean, if you want to keep the flies right in the feeding zone, sometimes the fish can be so picky. If they drop above or below them, they won't even entertain the flies. The sod's law of it now is because I've changed the cast. Something else from experience, I had it right. Out of a couple of casts, I got a couple of takes, and now I've changed my leader slightly because it broke me. It will probably not fish as well. But you guys hold me. Great day to be out though. Great day. In this style of fishing, sometimes it can be difficult. I mean, sometimes it may be hard to pick a fish up, but to me, the take is far superior. It's fishing like this or fishing dry fly is definitely my thing. The bung's fine. I don't mind it. If I've got to catch fish, I'll use it. I may well end up back on the bung again. But I would like to catch like this. I do enjoy the take. It can be absolutely savage. And here we are, chums, first fish on the washing line. Just took it as I was lifting in. I'm not sure what it's took. I think it may be on the fab on the point actually, but I can't really tell at the moment. Yep, it's took the fab on the point. Not what I really wanted. It's ignored the buzzers and took the fab, but hey ho, it's a fish all the same. thing I can say about these Chatton fish, the fight. They really do pull your string. Oh, he's got my arm hanging off. Come on, get up. Hook's out in the net. There you go. It's a cracking fish. That very silvered up. Look at that. Proper look at this. Give you a proper look at him. Get down. Oh, I'm in the water. That is a silvered up fish. That's beautiful. We're again on washing line chums. Very slow take. I'd just seen the line twitch away. Didn't have the camera running, unfortunately. Just seen the line twitch away and fish on, and it's took the buzzer on the middle dropper. Nice little take. Textbook take really. Just a little tiniest little tweak that I just struck into. But they're definitely interested in this technique today. Oh sorry, to the top dropper. Apologies. Top dropper. Let's have a look at him. Right, the buzzer's out, it's just pinged on us. That's the buzzer there. Nothing special, I don't know if you can see that. Just a little quad buzzer, sunburst cheeks. Absolutely stunning fish. All silvered up, very nice indeed. So there's no better way to fish than this. I love the buzzer fishing. Something more direct, you're just in contact with the fish a lot faster, and you feel everything, you know. Just lift them flies. That farb's holding really well. I'm not actually hitting the bottom, so it's keeping it at a good level. Quite happy with that. Just dropping the flies up, fish it right into the bank. I'm not going for distance with this. I'm concentrating more on turnover, presentation. Fish I never fall out anyway. Normally right under your rod tip. I'm just watching for the slightest indication on the line. The last fish, the line barely moved. Tiniest little pull. Just any interruption to the natural movement of the line on the water. There we go, just like that. Textbook. Textbook. I don't know if you picked it up on the camera, but it was a very slow draw. All you have to do is just lift into it. And you're on. I think it's took the same buzzer again. It has. Top dropper again. There's no better way of fishing, there really isn't. It's just, for me, buzzer, dry fly. And it's not about giving the fish something that they naturally eat, although obviously that is fly fishing, but it's just the take. It's the take, the way you fish, that nice slow way of fishing, you know. It's relaxing. And again, it has taken the cold buzzer. I can't find the, is it come off? Has it come out in the net? I can't see that. Yeah, must have come out in the net. Has it? There you go. Anyway, nice fish, about £1.75.